goodbye trampoline, and hello Blondie.
Wow, I'm a man. New Earth by Russell T Davies, and is of course the opening episode of Series 2 of Doctor Who. Now, New Earth tells the story of the Doctor taking Rose to the year 5.6 billion. The Earth has been destroyed, and in its place a new Earth, and they arrive at the city of New York, oddly enough, and because the Doctor's received a calling from his psychic paper from an old friend, the Face of Boe, who is dying and under the care of the Sisters of Plenitude, particularly one kindly cat named Novice Haim. However, an old enemy of Rose and the Doctor's, Cassandra, returns, hell-bent on revenge. Not to mention the sisters are hiding a human farm in which they consider lab rats. New Earth. Now, I know everyone hates this episode. They called it just the worst series opener by far, especially in comparison to Rose, the opening episode of Series 1. But I never understood the hate for this episode. I don't get it. I like New Earth. I think it is a pretty decent opener. Granted, it is a step down from Rose, I agree, but it's still pretty good. There is a lot to love here. Can you guys believe Series 2 is 10 years old now? That's right, it's 10 years ago I saw Doctor Who and got into it. Yeah, this was the very first Doctor Who episode I ever saw, so it's very special and nostalgic to me, but I will not let nostalgia blind my judgment of this episode too much. For one thing, this is David Tennant's first proper series episode as the Doctor. We were introduced to him in The Parting of the Ways and The Christmas Invasion, but here is where we finally get to see a full episode with him in his prime, and he is just absolutely perfect. This is why David Tennant is my favourite Doctor. Just as I explained, his comedic timing, his drama, his way he knows the character. Gosh, just give the guy all the awards in the world and all the work in the world. He is one of my favourite actors of all time, and him and Billie Piper, who is also great in this episode, they share great chemistry in the beginning, and since this series is hinting at the departure of Rose, as we see in the finale, it's great that the Doctor and her are having fun and clearly love being in each other's company. I love the design of New Earth. I know the CGI may be a little dated because it was back in 2006, but at the time it was breathtaking, and I love the design of the hospital. It's exactly what I imagine a hospital in the future to be, and I even love the Sisters of Plenitude. Like I said, they have great makeup and costumes. Thank God they're not CGI. This was back when creatures in Doctor Who looked real, and I love Novice Haim. This is her introduction. She's the care and loyal servant of one of my favourite Doctor Who characters, the Face of Boe, which is his second appearance in this episode, and he's sadly dying of old age, but she's staying by him and hints that the Doctor that before the Face of Boe's death he will speak his final words to a traveller, which of course he does exactly that in Gridlock in the next series. And yeah, this episode does a good job of giving us that emotional build up to the Face of Boe's death in Gridlock. And of course the episode's main antagonist, Cassandra, returns. I know everyone hates Cassandra. They think she's a stupid villain, but I like her. She's all right, and here she does make a threatening and interesting comeback. How she can hide in and transport herself into the bodies of other life forms. Like she goes into Rose's body and the Doctor's, which Billie Piper and David Tennant did a brilliant performance when they were acting like Cassandra. I even like Chip, her servant. He was a decent character with a decent character arc of how he was created by her and only lives to serve her, and even ends up sacrificing his own life for her in the end when she goes into his body. And yeah, this episode gave us a strong, powerful conclusion to Cassandra's character. The Doctor and Rose got to know her better than ever, and even gave Cassandra and Chip's body a nice send-off before she died by taking her back to when she was young. That was really sweet. And there are great moments of comedy in this episode as well, like the disinfectant in the lift, absolutely hilarious. And what always gets a chuckle out of me is the Duke of Manhattan. He looks upon the Doctor and it just makes him happier and happier. It puts a big smile on his face. Oh, that was great. Yeah, Russell knows how to balance light and dark tones so perfectly. It's even nice to see Jackie and Mickey at the beginning of this episode when they wave goodbye to Rose. Of course, they are barely in the episode. They're only in the opening, but it's still nice to see them. And however, this episode, it's not perfect. Like I said, it is a step down from Rose. Things that hold this episode back from being as good as Rose is, for one thing, the first half of the episode is pretty poorly paced and slow. Just, it's not bad, it's still fun, and it's great discovering this world. It's just not that dramatic, not much is happening, and it's really the second half of the episode where the episode truly gets going and comes into its own, when Cassandra unleashes all of the humans that were being farmed by the sisters, and they start touching everybody, giving them every disease in the world. That was a thrilling second half. I'm like, why couldn't the first half have been this good? And Cassandra ending up in the hospital doesn't make a lick of sense. How the hell did she get there? I know she explains that the skin she's on was harvested from the back of her body and she created Chip, and but how the heck did she get underneath the hospital without the sisters noticing? It makes no sense at all. And I never understood why the Doctor was angry at Novice for harvesting the humans. I mean, it wasn't really her, it was the other two sisters. I mean, the Doctor really should have blamed them, because Novice is a good cat, and thank God they forgive each other in Gridlock. And people might have tonal problems with the episode. While it does balance the comedy and the dramatic scenes very well for the most part, there's other parts when Cassandra's going into Rose and the Doctor and being comical, and people might find that a bit stupid and creating tonal whiplash, because the harvested humans are broken out. It's supposed to be an intense dramatic moment, and the comedy can feel a little forced. But despite those flaws, New Earth is still a decent opener, and to Series 2, and I even really satisfied with the resolution. How it's great seeing the Doctor actually being a doctor and curing all the patients by creating a mixture and just helping them pass it on. I'm glad they didn't have to destroy them, because they were just innocent people. So overall, guys, I don't get the hate for this story. I know people may find it stupid, but I really like it for the most part. I think it's a pretty solid series opener. It has some great things in it, which people really overlook. And as I said, it does build the great chemistry between the Doctor and Rose, making when she departs all the more tragic in the finale. And what would follow from this episode, an absolutely wonderful series.
I give New Earth 3.5 stars out of 5.
Well, I love you guys. Thank you all for watching. What did you think of New Earth? Please comment, let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Google+, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.